On today's Minute of the Apes, if you haven't seen Werner Herzog's Yelp review for Trader Joe's, you've got to go read it.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! Exercise with an ape maker, human doll. It talks. We are the keepers of the divine bounds. It is our only reason for survival. We are determined to know what the apes want, war or peace. The only good human is a dead human!
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. And I ask right away, do you have it pulled up?
Oh, yeah, I do. You ready? Imagine this in Werner Herzog's voice.
Do your best, worst Werner Herzog.
This is Trader Joe's. Madness reigns. The first challenge your soul must endure is the parking lot. You wait with your vehicle half blocking traffic, creating a perfect circular vortex of anger that encompasses the street and the entrance to the store. Once you attain access to the lot, you discover that this is a false achievement. Other motorists stop and start with no apparent thought or plan. Turns once begun are quickly abandoned. The driver is seemingly immune to the geometry. At last a space opens up, but the price is having to enter the store. Inside, human beings scramble like beetles whose rock have been upended. Though the aisles are wide, it is impossible to avoid physical contact with your fellow shoppers. It is a grotesque parody of the bazaar at Marrakesh, as if dumb animals have been granted only the amount of sentience required to mock humanity. The aisles are not labeled. You must search for every item. The constant walking up and down causes a numbness that borders on profound despair. Your conscious mind registers merely annoyance, impatience. But only on a cellular level, your body cries out in weariness. The fatigue you feel is a warning. Millions of years of evolution trying to save you from becoming mired in the tar, from sinking into the warm blackness and ultimately being reclaimed by the earth itself. Be sure to get the dark chocolate peanut butter cups. They are right by the register.
How many stars did you give it, Sean?
5 stars.
I was about to say, he went on that long odyssey to go, I really like the peanut butter cups. I was about to say he needed a vacation until you got there. That was genius. If you've not seen his performance in The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, that's where this all came from. We were kind of talking about that. So sorry, we got away from it. Here we are at the last minute of action of this movie.
And reveal.
Action revealed the true hook of this movie. Hook is coming here. Sean, tell us what happens in minute 97, Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
All right, we start minute 97 with a circus tent being lowered and ends with the credit for the aide, Emmett Walsh.
How would Werner Herzog toss it to listen to the minute?
Let us go and listen to this minute of madness and despair.
Here we go. Minute 97, Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
All right, all extra hands in the backyard to the quarter pole.
Come on, let's go!
As soon as you get that canvas packed, I want every hand on the menagerie tent. All right? Intelligent creature. But then so were your mother and father.
Mama. Oh, mama, 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 oh, mama, 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 mama.
As As of minute 97, we have a planet's worth of humans plus no living smart apes as far as we know. And one f***ing dead half-line.
So we start off with the establishing shot of the circus. And in this establishing shot, and I think it's partially because it looks like they shot it as the sun either came up or went down. It looks more like a sunrise to me.
So it does look like sunrise.
You can actually, if you look around it, begin to see that it did have that golf coursey look around the back ends of it because you have a water trap. It looks like a rolling hill that would go down to a sand pit. So it reveals itself. But man, what a great freaking shot!
It is. We're up above before,
right?
As we pull back, and now we're again up above as the tent itself comes down,
right?
There was an awkward moment where he says something about all extra hands to the tent or to the poles or whatever, and you have like 5 extras.
Yeah, just standing there waiting for our cue and go.
But they wanted the shot, and so they couldn't go in and edit that awkward.
Well, not only that, too, we've also, as we're tearing down the final parts of the tent, we have one dude walking to the left taking the popcorn cart. Shouldn't that thing have like been on the truck hours ago? I was like,
yeah,
seriously. So we get into this, we see the dismantling, and then it cuts to a shot of Armando. Does anyone else think that shot of Armando looks strangely like it was shot on the same set where they shot all the footage earlier?
The menagerie tent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I find interesting, and I want to say it now because then later on when we get a moment where he's talking to someone else, it's obviously shot on location because you can see over his shoulder the backgrounds of that golf course-y like area. Did they just forget to shoot that? Or because, okay, it can't be we didn't have enough light to expose it because you exposed that, and that was actually a darker setting than if you'd done the flip angle with sunlight on him.
Well, I mean, do we ever... No, yeah, I mean...
I'm not following what you're saying. So
why did they shoot him on the set versus...
That if you can you angle it just a tad bit more? So that, what you're looking at, how many seconds in is that, Richard, to where we're talking? So that's... Okay, so right there, that looks like it's on a set because you're looking at the single point lighting and look how harsh the shadows are.
Versus,
so it's Armando pointing out his directions, and the circus tent is behind him, and then they wheel in one of the carts that Heloise was in earlier.
They had all the extras already staged.
Maybe.
So they probably did that night shot that they had where he is walking with Dixon talking. They probably just took a moment, had the extras come in and out of tent, rolled this in, and
what I wish they had done is put an amber gel on it to give it that golden look, so that it matched a little more. Because you get the beautiful golden sunlight in the previous establishing shot. Here it's just
weird. It looks like it's about to rain outside.
It's very cold, kind of bluish light on it.
Well, I also thought they kind of perfectly fastened jacket on top of his red shirt and billowy scarf was just a little super fabulous.
I think he looked great.
It's the greatest show, buddy.
I don't know.
Do you think Armando's
hang on and see how that's obviously shot on location,
right.
Richard? You can see the depth.
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
So we have the perspective of him shouting directions, and then we get a reverse of the other side where we're looking the container has pulled up, and we're
looking through the container back at Armando,
and now we see the outside again.
Yeah.
And you're obviously you can see. I just wish
the lighting on him is much brighter now.
I think your point about we have the extras because we even have a clown. Somebody still in clown makeup is helping to dissemble the circus. If you look in that shot,
yeah.
So you had extras in full makeup, and that's probably why they shot it on set, because they already had them there.
Just to go ahead and get them while the actors.
And these people that are in the background, this could actually be crew members you just have milling about.
Right. Well, it was interesting. So they didn't. He actually
it works, but I found that odd.
Dane didn't actually have any of that lines for Armando. All the stuff saying bring the guide wires down, do this, let's grab this stuff. I need these 5 extras. That wasn't actually in the script. He just goes straight to the intelligent creature.
So I want to know, in the universe, the character Armando, does he have to yell this out every time, or do people not know how to break down the damn circus at this point?
I thought that too, and I appreciate that you say that was not in the script, and it should have been then something... Help Sean! What are we doing? Get over there!
Yeah, instead of just guiding everything that everybody knows what to do already.
That would be like me, every time Abby pulls out of the driveway, put the car in drive. You don't have to do that shit. They already know how to do it.
Well, but it wasn't in Dane's script, so they added it to give this. They added to give this movement. They were giving a reason why.
There's a reason, and it works.
Yeah, I mean Dane had was ready to move to winter quarters, crates stacked on trucks, trailers hooked to cars, dogs barking, circus hands shouting, and closed to a line of wheeled menagerie cages, which Armando is distantly approaching as we track past cages. He paused at the head of the line by a cage whose contents he masks. Now, we didn't get that. We basically have the cage kind of pull up behind him.
Conveniently pull up behind him.
That just happens to have what we assume is Salome.
Yeah. The tiny, tiny little baby in this huge ass cage all by itself, which could probably just slip through the bars if it really wanted to.
But in that establishing shot as it pulls in, we know what's coming. I'm going to say, you can so if you go back to the shot previous to that, Richard, you can plainly see around her neck a silver charm.
Yeah, right.
Now, when I say that, I'm not putting down the film. It's essential that be there so that when you fact check what's coming, we can say it was there and it didn't just suddenly, unless it had it in its mouth or something. But I wonder that audiences at that time, would that catch your eye and would you be thinking that?
It would have been better if it would have been something as, oh, your mother wanted you to have this, and then he puts a necklace on it instead of the necklace already being on it.
Well, she'd already put the necklace on.
We knew that from previous.
Yes.
But then that, when you don't have the necklace on the baby, we've established that the necklace means that this baby is Milo. If we are now giving it back, then we are saying this is Milo instead of, oh, hey, Milo has been here all the time. You kind of had that little dodge in there.
You could have even had a shot with the dead baby where we saw the blanket. I know this is horrific. The blanket peeled away and there's no necklace there.
Yeah.
We wouldn't immediately catch that, but on further viewings, you would go, oh, I see, they did that.
I didn't think about the fact that they were probably trying to hide the chest of the monkey that the
one that died, not having. I hadn't thought about that either.
That all those shots they were intentionally trying to cover that up.
The necklace,
you would know that it was there or not there.
Yeah.
But here it's just blatant.
It is, but I also wonder how many people, how many people when they see this the first time are automatically going, I know that's Milo. I know Milo's safe. How many people are going, is that what's on that baby's, or how many people are not noticing?
Wait, is that St. Christopher's medal? Are we sure?
It's not so obvious that you immediately look and go, oh, there it is. But it does catch your eye. It's gleaming in the light.
And then Armando basically tells you, intelligent creature, but then so were your mother and father.
Right.
And that, I guess that was supposed to be the line. I mean, that was really supposed to be your
this is Milo.
I see a Statue of Liberty in the distance.
Ooh, look at you, metaphorical kind of.
Well, that's what's intended, right?
It is. But I like your tying the two together. Like I see it in the distance. There it is.
And again, not knowing if they were planning the Conquest movie after this at any point.
Right.
Knowing this, I didn't know. All right, so we have this necklace on it. Is the next movie going to have a Milo character that we know it's Milo because he wears a necklace in the next movie? Are we using this to establish a grown Milo in future movies? I don't know if Milo shows up in next movies or not.
And for those of you that don't know, again, Sean's never seen any of the classic films, and we'll get into that tomorrow a little bit about what you expect.
That's something I'm going to speculate. That there's two more movies, so where do we go?
Yeah,
right.
Where do we go from here? Do we continue this story? Do we go back in time? Do we?
Let's save this for tomorrow because we do want to speculate about these kind of things, and we'll get into Sean's expectations over the next movie.
So he says, "Intelligent creature," but then so were your mother and father. He then kind of commands a little bit more, and
then we push into the baby.
And they were able to get this ape to move his lips a little bit. And then we have that looped video.
They're called racking. They're going to rack the shot.
Oh, that's so horrible.
Well, it's no different than the Tusken Raider in A New Hope.
Right.
Same thing.
So for the listening audience that heard this, you do hear what is now no longer Salome. That's actually Milo.
Let's be fair. As it pushes in, even more than the baby moving its mouth is how it leans to one side, and we can truly see the necklace now. So we get that, and at that point, then we get the baby.
We get the baby starting to say, "Mama, Mama, Mama." I counted. He says it 10 times,
which is a little excessive.
It was a little much.
Yeah. I just want to know if the audience are starting to giggle a little bit at that point with the baby going back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, that they didn't need that. They could have had the start of it. Then fade to black, then hear him actually say mama, to me would have been more powerful.
I think even what I thought was, why not make it to where, because again, I'm going to go back to being a dad. When Abby, the first time she spoke, she's like, did she say daddy? Daddy was her first word. And the first time it comes as dad, something goofy. And then she would say it 2 or 3 times. And then it started saying like, so why wasn't it ma, and then finally mama, the final time. And because that could be heartbreaking if it finally enunciated it over black, the finality of the curtain has come, and that baby is now
alone.
Yeah, that. But the 10 times it just to your point, it got silly.
In today's movie parlay or vernacular, they would have not even done that. They would have faded to black, credits roll, and then when you stay there,